Welcome everybody to Treats and Eats with Krista and Jodi, although Krista just left the screen as soon as I started the recording. We are here on this wonderful August evening to talk about breakfast ideas. I think we called it. There she is. Wait, Krista. She left right when I started.
Sorry, I have two computers going because my live studio audience. So I got to go click the OK button when you start the recording. So just.
It's all good. We got it. I thought you just left me alone. Okay, so we're calling this a breakfast bonanza. It is starting to be back to school time. I know some people start this week. My kids start next Thursday, and I always feel like you just want cold cereal is so easy, and then they eat lunch like at 2 o'clock sometimes, depending on their lunch. And I'm like, it's not going to fill them up. So I am always looking for good breakfast ideas. Sometimes we featured like make ahead breakfasts. And today we're just going to feature some yummy stuff. Some of it can be made ahead. Some of it can be made in like jars, and then you can just prepare it that morning. But it's going to be super fun. We also have some exciting news. There is going to be a back to school sale. Yay! So if you want the details about that, stay tuned to the end. So, or if you don't want to listen to the sales info at the end, you can just text or email whoever invited you to the demo, and they'll give you the details about the sale. Yay! So make sure that you stay on. We're going to probably be pretty quick tonight. I think that their breakfasts are pretty easy. You don't want to spend a lot of time making breakfast. So, shouldn't be too long, and then we'll get you out of here and we'll give you all the deets about the sale. I think Miss Krista, you're up first. Yes?
Yes, I am. So, yes, yay. Actually, school got started here in Arizona 2 weeks ago, actually. So we've already been in
2 weeks? I didn't
yeah,
realize that.
last week. And yeah, there's more starting this week. And yeah, so we go back because we can't go outside and play right now because it's hell.
That's true. You're like, just get them to school.
Yep, just get them to school because yeah, can't play
You know
anyway.
what I forgot to mention. So we're cooking based on the August sale items, not the back to school sale items, but if there is something on it, we might highlight it. They just sent it literally today, so we did not have time to base the demo around that. But anyways, I just wanted to give a heads up. So everything today we're going to be featuring is on August specials, which are on sale throughout the sale too. So you can still get them.
Yes.
And be
absolutely.
awesome.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Go,
No,
Krista.
you're good. You're totally good. It's all good. You know how this is live TV for us, right? We got to throw things in there, keep people guessing. Okay, so we're talking about breakfast, which is awesome. And I was excited to do this because I've been trying to eat a little more healthy, right? And I need breakfast ideas. I think that's the worst meal for us to figure out what to eat for breakfast. It's stupid sometimes because sometimes I need it in a hurry. Sometimes I have time to cook. Sometimes, and my schedule is just so off the wall and busy. And a lot of times I just skip breakfast because I don't know what to fix, right? So I've been looking at those little egg cups. You've ever had those at like Starbucks or wherever, the little egg cups. That's what I'm making. And I'm like, that's something that I could either stick in my freezer and defrost really quick and have a good high protein breakfast on the go or whatever. So I took this one because I need this one. Okay. So we're going to make egg cups based on Thrive stuff. And actually half of the ingredients are actually on sale on the August specials. The other half are just out of my kitchen stuff that I use all the time. Right. So we're going to get started and hopefully get these in the oven, and they're really super easy, like super easy. But what we're going to do first is I'm going to tilt my screen so that you can see where I'm working here. So you can see all my good stuff. So on this side, I have all the things that are on sale. And on this side, I have everything else that we're going to use. So we're using a lot today, right? So the first thing I want to do is it calls for, and I just took a recipe offline. And in fact, I'm going to show you my little cheat sheet here. There's my recipe. And then all the black markings on it is me thrivealizing it, making it thrive appropriate. Okay. So, and we've taught this in another cooking demo, how to do that. But I will tell you that right here, it says 8 large eggs. And so based on my information on my egg thing, it says 2 tablespoons or 1 egg. So I use 16 tablespoons, which is 1 cup. So we're going to use 1 cup of eggs, right? So that's what I mean by thrivealizing a recipe, right? Turning into something. And in this recipe, it calls for a bunch of green beans, 1 bell pepper, and 1 green pepper. Now that's not very specific as to how much, right? So I actually sat down and I kind of decided on what that is. So we're going to do 1.5 cups of freeze-dried vegetables. And this recipe calls for red pepper, green pepper, and onions. But I want more vegetables than that. So you can actually kind of, do whatever it is you want, right? But I'm going to do, so here we're going to start. Okay. I'm going to put onions in there and they're really small, right? So here's my cup. It's a 2-cupper. So we're going to fill it to 1.5 cups. And I'm going to guess that looks good for onions. I love onions, by the way. And I've got green chilies. Green chilies they're a little more spicy, right? So I'm not going to put as much, but I'm going to sprinkle some because I know I needed 1.5 cups, right? So I'm just fiddling around. I'm going to use tomatoes as too. These are fabulous. If you guys have never had these, you should put these on your special for this month because they're fabulous. They're a little more chunky, so they're not going to be as they're going to do my 1.5 cups that I'm looking for. They're going to fill it really quick, right? And in fact, I'm gonna add a little bit more actually. There we go. That's probably good. And then I'm gonna put spinach because I want spinach in my egg anything. I love spinach. Take this guy out. Do not eat this. Do not eat this. Do not pour it in your pots either because I'm famous for that. So there's my spinach. I'm just gonna pour some spinach in there. Put that in the trash. Did you see? I almost put it back in the can. Live TV, people. And then I'm going to add some green onions. Now I've already put onions in there, but I like green onions, so I'm going to put some green onions. And we are about at my 1.5 cups of veggies. Okay. Close enough. We're dumping that in there. And then, okay, so you guys have seen, if this is like your second or third or 15th time watching us, you know that I don't play by the rules a lot of times, right? So here's how Krista is going to cook this, right? Because I want to actually rehydrate these. I want to give them a little extra time before I add all the ingredients in, okay? So this recipe calls for 1.5 cups of water because in my egg recipe, it's 2 tablespoons per egg. I'm doing 8 eggs. So that's 16 tablespoons of eggs. And then the water ratio is 1.5 cups. So I've got 1.5 cups of water. I'm actually going to pour some in here and get this rehydrating. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. But we're going to stir it around and give it kind of advanced warning of water, right? We're going to see where we're at and see how dry we're at the bottom. And it's getting pretty dry, right? So, and I probably used a little over 1/4 cup of water in here, okay? Now my eggs need that water to rehydrate, right? So I'm actually going to add a little bit more water back here because I've been working with this stuff for a long time, so I kind of know what's going on, but I just want to give this a head start in reconstituting, right? Look at that spinach, beautiful green, awesome, right? All right, so now I want to add my flavors. And basically this is just add it and dump it in and stir it, right? So this is onion powder and garlic powder, just a little bit, just for some flavor. We're going to throw a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper.
Are those cow salt and pepper shakers?
No, they're little piggies. They're little piggies.
Pigs, they're cute.
Yes. Okay, so I've got that. Let's see. It calls for a little bit of milk. And I use our instant milk. And you guys have seen this before. If you were here last month, we did this as well. It's our instant milk. It is 3 tablespoons to 1/2 cup of milk or 1/2 cup of water. Can't remember what it is, but
3 tablespoons per 1 cup.
Yes.
To make it kind of like a 1%.
Yep. So we're going to add, it calls for 1/4 cup because I love to whip milk into my eggs. So you can see I'm just adding wet ingredients on top of what I put in there. So here's my secret ingredient. Okay, so this is not in the recipe. This is something that Krista added because Krista really likes this. And it's on sale too, the sour cream powder. I'm actually going to add a teaspoon. Oh, that's the milk. That's not sour cream. Sour cream. This is sour cream. So the sour cream powder is a thickening agent, right? So it, but it's flavorful. It's got lots and lots of flavor in it. And I like doing salsa and sour cream with my eggs. So I'm going to add a little bit just for flavor because I'm adding all those flavors into my vegetables, right? So there's my secret ingredient in this. Just gives it a little bit more flavor. Okay, we're doing good. So now we need to put in, I'm going to add bacon. So typically I would add freeze-dried sausage, which I used in the last breakfast event we did. It was a scramble. It was so good, but I actually don't have a can open and I have bacon that I needed to use anyway. Cause see, we go through our fridge and use what we've got, right? It's half the problem or half the solution, right? That's what we're supposed to do. So I got my bacon in there. Okay, now comes the good part. Got all my vegetables. Here are my eggs. I'm actually going to add my water first. It's actually not powdered eggs. I don't know if you guys can hear my studio audience, but it is actual egg. It is not powdered eggs. I have horror stories of having powdered eggs as a kid. Anybody else have that? Like, it scared me at night doing powdered eggs, but these are fabulous, right? So we're just going to mix this and we're going to let everything just kind of get all macerated and nice. But look at that. Looks like an egg bake, right? All right. Then the last ingredient we're going to add is one of my new favorites because I used all my cheddar cheese last time. We're putting jack cheese in this one. We're going to get a little spice. And I actually reconstituted it beforehand. And the reason why I did that is, which we've done cheese before. All I did was pour some dry cheese in here, added a little bit of water and put it in my fridge for probably it's been sitting in there probably about an hour. And when you reconstitute it like that, check it out and give you a close up here. There's sometimes when you add too much water, it comes in, you get balls of cheese or sorghum, but you want this reconstituted because you want it to actually melt when it actually goes in the oven, right? And I didn't want it to steal the water that I just added in there with the eggs, right? So we're eating that. Oh, that cheese is so good. We are gonna have that cheese in there. And I don't care if there's chunks in there. In fact, I'm totally not gonna mind that. Okay. How does that look, guys? Thank you, live studio audience. That's awesome. All right. So I got my muffin tin. And we are going to, it is greased. So it is ready to go. And we are just going to put it in the muffin pan. Isn't there a song about a muffin man? They're singing at my house. Maybe you don't want to be a live audience member. I'm kidding. I love you guys. So this is as easy as it gets. I mean, how easy is that? I didn't have to chop a vegetable. I didn't have to do much prep work except measure things out. Pretty amazing, huh? I guessed. All right, so these are going in the oven. So I am going to turn it over to Jodi at this point, and we'll come back to me in a little while.
Okay. So there is a question about the difference in our eggs and regular powdered eggs. I was trying to find the exact FAQ because I used to know this answer really good and now I forget. But there is something with the way that they process it, and it's like a crystallization instead of just a pure. Most eggs are dehydrated, actually, dehydrated powder eggs, and ours are, I believe, cooked and then crystallized. There's something where we can eat them raw because I made eggnog with them. I mean, we did it last year for Christmas. I did it for a meal in a jar. And you can eat them. You can cook cookie dough with them and they're just fine. They're safe. But I can't remember if it's because they're cooked and then freeze dried and crystallized or if it's just the crystallization process that makes it safe. But I will find an answer and I will let you know. But they're awesome. I love our eggs. Okay. Speaking of our eggs, I got to get this to the right angle. Okay. So I'm going to make two yummy things. Oh, I got to make me big. Hold on. Play spotlight. Okay. Woo! Now I'm really big. Sorry. Yeah, scrambled eggs. It is a scrambled egg mix. So I think it is cooked scrambled, but then it's like not officially, it's not dehydrated, it's like crystallized. It's something weird, but it's crazy. But you can use them just like you would use powdered eggs. So you can use them in baking, they work just fine. I am going to also use our eggs. It's always fun when the eggs go on sale because they're kind of expensive. So we like it when they're on sale and we like to cook with them. So, and also whenever you see like, oh, Krista, can you admit people? There's people joining, thanks. Whenever you see like green chili peppers and onions on sale, you know, we're gonna probably do something maybe a little bit Mexican-ish. And tomato dices just ends up happening. So I am going to, I'm gonna move this stuff forward. Make something awesome. It's going to be breakfast burritos. So you can make breakfast burritos one of two ways. You can have a bunch of them in the freezer and you just pull them out and microwave them, or this one is a jar version. So it's gonna be a little bit interesting. There's just powdered milk in the bottom of that, but you can put milk in your eggs as Krista just showed us, so it's just fine. So what I'm gonna do in this is a pulled pork scrambled egg breakfast burrito. And this is our pop top can. Those are nice for emergencies if you don't want to store or you lose your can openers. And I am going to do, so the pulled pork, so you could do the ground sausage, but the pulled pork is really good and it just makes a little bit of a different, just a different touch. It does have some really big chunks, which I don't really want in my breakfast burrito. So I'm pulling more of the smaller chunks from underneath the big chunks in the can. Whoops, I'm making a mess. So I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup and I'm gonna show you why we're doing it in the jar, because even if I didn't want to store it in the jar, you'll see the genius of it in a little bit. So I just got about a 1/4 cup of the meat, break up the bigger pieces into little chunks and throw it. My green Thrive funnel, then I don't make as big of a mess. So you got some, my dog will lift that up before, don't worry. We got the pork. We've got a little bit of tomatoes, because I like tomatoes in my omelettes. So I just did like 2 tablespoons of that. A couple of chopped onions, which are on sale, 40% off. Can never go wrong with that. Just what you would normally put like in a breakfast burrito, totally works for this. Green chili peppers. This is one of the old cans. When you see the colorful ones, you know they're the old cans. And you know I got them for a lot cheaper because they're 10 years old. But they're still good. That's the beauty of Thrive. You shop. You're eating today's food at yesterday's prices. It's wonderful. So now I'm going to do a little bit of diced potatoes because I think those are good in breakfast burritos. And I also just learned that diced potatoes are on sale for the back to school sale. That was a little sneak peek. Pretend I didn't tell you. Okay. And then last but not least, actually, I'll do the eggs. So the scrambled egg mix, freshly cracked eggs crystallized for perfectly fluffy scrambled eggs every time. I will get the official word on the eggs. And I'm doing a 1/4 cup, which is equivalent of 2 eggs. And I'm putting it in here just so it's not the top thing. You'll see why in a minute. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is put some cheese, because who doesn't like cheese in omelets? Cheddar cheese. You can eat our cheddar cheese straight out of the can. It's so good. I like cheese.
So is the pepper jack.
Pepper jack, really good. I thought about doing pepper jack in this, but then I was looking at the sale flyer, and guess what's on sale? Cheddar cheese. Sneak peek again. I'm ruining all the surprises.
My bad.
Okay, so you could totally keep it like this. You could even put your salt and pepper straight in here if you want. You could have a couple of these in your cupboard. Kids can make this in like really quick, right? So that's how you can store it in advance, and then you just make a quick burrito in the morning. But if you want to just cook them all up, you can make a bigger batch, cook it all up, have them in the freezer. So then what's the beauty of this is you just pour your water right in the jar. I did a cup of water because I didn't fill it all the way full, as you'll notice. Squeeze it on, and then you mix it, because who wants to make more dirty dishes, right? You store it in this, and then you mix it in this. Now, I found actually this is based off a recipe on Thrive's website, and they say in it to just microwave the eggs. But I like to regular cook my eggs. So, but I'm actually gonna let it sit for a second and just let everything get hydrated in there really well before I cook them up, and I'm gonna show you my next recipe. So, the next thing I like to make for breakfast, and my kids will do this, although my son made a huge one right before church on Sunday. It literally filled the blender like overflowing. And then he's like, oh, I don't think I can drink this all. So he like left some for my daughter. Then he took this huge shaker cup full to church. He drank like this much of it and then wasted the rest in the car. So don't make a huge blender full. Don't be like James. There's lots of other good reasons to be like James, but not that. So I did a cup of water and a cup of ice. We're going to make apple pie smoothies, because who doesn't love apple pie? And who doesn't love apple pie for breakfast? So there is actually oatmeal in it, which is a healthy breakfast food, a little bit carby, but it's filling, especially, you know, like a fruit smoothie, they want to throw like strawberries and yogurt in it, and it's not bulky enough, I don't think, for a good breakfast. And then, so this recipe calls for milk, so I just do water and then put a 1/4 cup, which it could be 3 tablespoons, but I'm making it a little bit creamier and a little more calories. So I put 1/4 cup, which is 4 tablespoons of milk for the 1 cup. If you want to, you can add a sweetener. I feel like the Fuji apples are really sweet already. You might not need it, but I'm gonna put in just 1 teaspoon of the honey crystals, because it's 8:30 at night here. So this is actually my dessert. It's not breakfast, but you want just breakfast, healthy breakfast, you can keep out any sweeteners and it will be just fine. You're gonna do your apple pie spices. So I got some cinnamon, and don't worry, we'll type up all the recipes and send them. Too much, we'll send them after. Everyone that's registered will get the recording, and I will try to send the right link this time. Last time I sent out the wrong link by accident. And I like to do recipe. Krista likes to, she's a lot better at being creative and just winging it. But then she tries to type up instructions for me, or I listen to her and I'm like, okay, I gotta type this up. So we do give you typed up instructions, so you don't have to like try to copy what we're doing. Okay, my recipe called for a pinch of nutmeg and a pinch of ginger. Okay, my cutest measuring spoons in the world, they literally say pinch on them. It means, I'm getting old, 1/16 of a teaspoon. So if you want to be official, it's literally a pinch in my recipe. If you don't have a 16th teaspoon, then go try to buy one that calls for a pinch. It has like a pinch and a dash. I think dash is 1/8 teaspoon.
I actually have those, but I don't know that I've ever used them.
Every time it says pinch in a recipe, I get excited. I'm like, I know what a pinch is, guys. And then the last thing is 2 cups of Fuji apples. And I did not open them in advance because I wanted to show you. I always get asked what kind of can opener you use for these cans because I broke a lot of can openers when I first started cooking with Thrive. So the answer is a swing away can opener. This is very good if you have sore wrists. My mom was always wrecking her wrist trying to open her cans. So I do the swing away. It does kind of wreck up your labels a little bit if you go too fast, but you can just go, but I'm just gonna go a little slow. Probably will still have my labels, but you know what? I'm the only one eating out of them. Super easy. And I've had that thing. Oh, I didn't do a very good job. I've had it for years, probably like 10 years, and it's still going strong. So I left part of that undone. That wasn't a very good demo. I promise it works. It works better if you do it fast. So our Fuji apples versus our Granny Smith, I should have had them to show you. The Fujis have the peels on them, and they're really sweet. The Granny Smith's a little tart, so I use it for like pies and stuff. But like I said, these are sweet enough. You really wouldn't need to add any sweetener, but I love our honey crystals. I wanted to use them. So I'm just gonna do 2 cups of apples. You could do any fruit, mix and match, but I did the apple pie spices. The apples are really good with the oatmeal.
I love those. Those are, can I have some, please?
This time I get to cook something that you want. And I've
Mhm.
also done, like I've thrown our freeze-dried bananas. So if you want like a protein shake, you can do chocolate protein powder. You can throw like peanut butter powder or just actual peanut butter and then the freeze-dried bananas. And it just makes it so thick and creamy and delicious. So I'm going to blend this, but I should probably, it's going to be loud. I'm going to mute myself.
She probably can't hear me, but it actually drones it out. It doesn't do loud noises. It cuts it off. So we're good, Jodi.
Krista has a magic thing that like mutes it when she does something loud. Mine doesn't do
So
that.
do you. It's Zoom.
Zoom does it?
Yes, Zoom does it.
Does
So
it
you,
automatically mute when
yeah.
I turn it on?
Yep, it does.
I didn't know that. I thought you had a trick for that.
Nope, I am not magic.
Already muted before I pushed mute.
Yep, you were muted before you pushed mute. It's all good now.
Not look a very beautiful color. It looks almost like, I'm not gonna say it. It does kind of look like throw up, but it tastes so good. You don't even like notice the oats. It's just thick. It tastes like apple pie. It's good. Try it. I'm gonna drink that for dessert. So that's that one. I'm gonna show you how easy these eggs cook up real quick. And then I'm back to Krista, right, Krista?
Sure.
So I am going to use my handy
I
dandy.
noticed how beautiful you look with your blouse matching your blender and the apples. You're all
And my
matching.
stove too. Look, my stove is also red.
Oh, and your stove. That's awesome.
I have a Coca-Cola themed kitchen, so all my appliances were red. I no longer have that, but I still have my red appliance. So
It
I'm
worked.
gonna cook up these eggs. I didn't get a spoon. Of course I didn't get a spoon. It's all good. So it's basically just, you see how easy it came out of the, like that's so nice. It just, in your jar, one pot. I'm gonna get a spoon to stir it. I don't know how they do everything so perfect on like cooking shows. They always have everything right there. We always forget something. And you could do, like I said, the sausage, you could do it more like kind of a barbecue-y flavor. You could do beans, but the beans you would have to probably cook before. Because they wouldn't hydrate enough, but all the stuff I did in this will hydrate just fine just with how long I had them. You could also do mushrooms, green peppers or red peppers if you wanted it even more southwesty-ish. So the eggs cook pretty fast. They literally cook just like regular scrambled eggs. And the cheese, so you could do the cheese if you weren't doing it in the jar, you could hydrate the cheese or just use regular cheese, but you could hydrate it in the fridge and then sprinkle it on top more like so it's like separated this way, it just gets kind of cheese infused throughout all the eggs, which is how I like my eggs anyways. Or you can cheese infuse your eggs and then also add more cheese on top. And these would be really good with salsa or sour cream, just kind of whatever you would normally do in a breakfast burrito. And that jar I did, so this amount will basically make 2 burritos. So this could be 2 kids' breakfast or 1 teenage boy who has 5 hours of soccer each day this week. I have never seen him eat so much in his life. I made French toast and I made it for the whole family and he just ate like 6 pieces all on his own. And then there wasn't enough dinner for everyone else. Side note, I was out of eggs and I used Thrive eggs to make my French toast. It was so good and nobody even knew. They were like, this French toast is so good today, Mom. And it was literally powdered eggs. So it works just fine. Okay, see how quick the eggs cooked up? Like, if you like your eggs a little more dry, you want to cook it a little bit longer. But these are pretty much all cooked, hydrated. Now I have second dinner for my soccer player who's probably about to come up and want to make a snack anyways. So I'm gonna let it just cook a teeny bit more, but breakfast burritos. So like I said, you can just have the jars and they can mix and match what they want. They can make this in 3 minutes in the morning instead of have to like make a mess, crack eggs, or you run out of eggs and there's no eggs and they're mad at you because they eat 12 dozen a day. But yeah, so whatever they want to have in it, they can have in it. Or you just make a big batch of breakfast burritos. Burrito them all up. You can individually saran wrap them or like tin foil, but then if you want a microwave, you can't do it in tin foil. So I would saran wrap, microwave it. You got breakfast burritos. So there you go. I'll pull out tortillas and plate them, but you guys don't need to watch that part. So I will get them all plated and show you the final result. But Krista's gonna do her part too now. That's it. All done. That was fast, right? 2 easy breakfasts.
That was super fast.
Yay!
Super. And I checked on my eggs. They are doing fabulous. And I wish we had smell-o-vision because it smells so good in my house. Yep. I think you're on mute.
I said mine smells good too for once.
Yours always smell good. But I love the smell of apple pie. That would be awesome. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing is I'm doing a couple different things. So when looking at the August specials, the first thing that popped in my head when I saw pineapple and bananas was a trail mix, right? Like a Hawaiian Pina Colada trail mix kind of thing. So I'm going to quickly, because we haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to quickly make a trail mix for you. And basically, this is literally going to your cupboard and seeing what you've got and making a trail mix, whatever you've got, right? So, and whatever you like, you want to add whatever you like. So anything that I put in here can be switched out for whatever else you want. So I'm going to put bananas in here. If you want mangoes, put mangoes in there instead of bananas. Do whatever you need to do, right? But it's a really easy trail mix and I can keep it in my pantry at all times. And Hawaiian, if I'm doing a Hawaiian trail mix, the first thing I have to put in there is macadamia nuts, right? And these I actually bought in Hawaii. So yeah, so, and I haven't even opened them. So I just opened them now. And so we're doing 1/2 cup increments, right? Of every item that's going to go in the trail mix. So we're going to put some macadamia nuts in there. I'm going to tilt this so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So we've got, and then I'm going to put This was in my cupboard. It calls for cashews, but I'm going to do sesame and honey and cashews. Have you ever gotten these at Trader Joe's? They are fabulous. So good. Ridiculously good. I could eat them all day, every day. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Do a half cup of those. We're going to do a half cup of a toasted coconut. I had coconut in my fridge because it just stays there all the time. And I toasted it up. So we're going to add, and in fact, we probably don't need a half a cup. So I'm just going to kind of gauge it and live on the wild side, right? And then we're going to add freeze-dried pineapple because it is on sale this month. And it is, you can't have a Hawaiian trail mix without pineapple, right? And if you use the pineapple that you buy in the grocery store with all the sugar and the oil and the everything, and talk about oil on the banana chips, I mean, they're good, but I don't need that. I don't need that. So I'm actually going to use Thrive's banana chips. And if you guys have ever bought our bananas in the past, they've been like that thick. They're pretty thick. They're thick slices. They're awesome. But looky here. I got really thin slices. Look at how thin these are. Look how thin. They're usually double this thick. And
Are those new bananas?
I don't, but then they're in the snacky bags, right? They're
Those
really
are-
thin. So I am loving, yeah, sorry. I had to eat one, but it's live TV, people. Okay. The other thing that I'm going to add in here. White chocolate chips, because I need a little bit of sweet.
Hey, Sharman asked a question about the eggs. They don't
Okay.
need to be refrigerated if it's just the powder that can last on your shelf for a year.
Correct.
If you mixed it with water, then I would refrigerate it.
And then
Okay.
we're going to put coconut bites in. Pause.
Now I have food envy of yours.
Yeah, and hey.
Just mail me some of that.
Right. So we're gonna do that, and then we're basically just going to. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Oops. Oops, I spilt. Oh, don't worry, I'll eat it. This is my kitchen. I can eat it. All right, so there's my Hawaiian tropical trail mix. Okay. So the other thing that I was going to show you really quick was how to use this trail mix other than just eating it. I mean, this looks great and it's going to be awesome and I want to eat it all right now. But what if it sits in your cupboard for a couple days or you or you just need to eat it, right? So what we're going to do next is we're going to make a yogurt parfait out of it. So this is coconut yogurt. Okay. So we're going to make a Pina Colada yogurt parfait. Move that a little bit. Move my mess out of the way. What mess, right? And this is, yogurt is in most people's fridges, right? And you can use Greek yogurt. You can use whatever yogurt you want. This just happens to be one of my favorites. So I'm just going to pour my yogurt in a cute little dish. And these are some big pieces, right? So I'm going to take some of this. I probably don't need that much. Put it on a cutting board. Or if you have one of those little Pampered Chef chopper thingies, you can do that. But I'm going to chop it up a little bit because I want smaller pieces for my yogurt. And basically, I am making a granola out of my trail mix to go on top of my yogurt. How cool is that? My studio audience thinks it's very cool. All right, so we are just dicing this a little bit. You could actually throw this through your little, if you have one of those nut chopper thingies that chops your nuts for you for pecan pie or whatever. All right, so we are going to take some of this. Just put it on the side here. Okay, I'm gonna put that on one side. Get all that yummy dust. And then I'm gonna throw a little extra pineapple on there because it's pina colada. And then you can't have a pina colada. Oh, that doesn't have the roller rubber thing. Right, there we go. 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 How's that? How's that? Right?
Your food always looks so cute.
It's my little yogurt parfait.
I love it.
Reminds me of being in Hawaii. Right? Okay, so let's check on our egg bites really quick.
Ooh, I'm gonna show my burrito real quick.
Okay.
Okay. I burritoed it up on a gluten-free tortilla so I can eat it. I just put a little salsa, a little sour cream, and just wrap it up.
Do you want to eat this one, Katie?
It's yummy.
Okay.
Ta-da! Breakfast burrito. Super easy. Like I said, go stick that as is in the freezer, or just have your kids make them in the morning. I don't really make breakfast now that I have big kids. Okay. Are you ready for your egg cups, Krista?
I am.
Okay. Now your screen's big.
This. Oh my gosh, look at this.
Oh, yummy.
Ooh, they're bubbling. All right. Move this a little further that way. Those are awesome. Okay. All right. We're going to take one of these. All right. I panned this pan really good. And it's still kind of sticking. Please don't do an epic fail on live TV. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here's one. All righty. Should I cut one open so you can see on the inside?
Yeah.
All right. Check that out. Can you see it steaming? That's awesome. There you go.
It
All right.
totally worked. Those would be so good. You could just grab a couple and eat it in the car.
Right? Exactly. You could put these in the freezer and all of the things. Yeah. So we are done over here.
I should do that because I just eat a granola bar for breakfast if I'm lucky. I tasted my burrito. It was delicious.
Oh gosh, I gotta taste my egg thingy.
I know you should.
Yeah,
I wish everyone, well, you have a nice live audience. They can taste everything, but
they are gonna
Not
taste everything.
my live audience tastes it after the demo's over.
No worries. I will taste it right now because I'm hungry anyway.
Green salsa on top would be good.
I know, salsa and a little bit more sour cream. That would be amazing.
Mine's good. Luckily, I didn't eat dinner yet, so I can eat dinner and my apple pie smoothie for dessert.
Oh, yum, that is so good.
Yay!
Oh wow, that is amazing.
Is it all the way cooked?
It is all the way cooked. It is really yummy.
Nice.
They're like little egg cakes. I want to call them little egg cakes, but they're not.
They're like little quiche muffins.
Yes, little quiche muffins. That's good. All right, back to you.
Okay. I'm gonna make me big again. Okay. Did you ladies learn anything new, or I don't know if there's any gentlemen, or have any new ideas for breakfast? Hopefully, yes. So we're not gonna do a cooking demo for the sale, but usually we'll do something with recipes, like we'll put something together for you. So let me just go over the sale really fast. So if you're like, whatever, just send me the link. That's fine. You can hop off. If you want to hear what's on sale, this is your chance because it will take me a few days to get this replay out. So I am going to go for it. So we have a flyer. We'll see if I can put the link in here. That would be wonderful, right? So we have this sale flyer. I had a link. I got it. I'm going to give it to you guys. But usually with the sales, there's one thing or a few things that are 50% off. And then everything kind of goes down from there. So they used to do like everything on sale, but they don't do that anymore. Okay, so here's a link. You can follow along with me if you want. So the back page is just the August specials that we've talked about. So those are the regular things. Onions and apples were 40% off. And then the pork, tomatoes, chili peppers, egg mix, sour cream powder, pineapple, the beef gravy sauce, and then instant milk, which we both used quite a bit. 50% off. I think they ordered a lot of that because it's been 50% off for a while, but as soon as it's gone, I bet it's never going to be 50% off again. So I have already bought a few cases of it. So definitely stock up on that if you haven't. And we did a whole powdered milk class that I can send out too if you want to know all the ways to use milk. So for the back to school special, I put the link in there. So if you want to follow along, the big sale items are corn, which our corn is pretty awesome. It's kind of tastes like almost like popcorn, but it's like healthy popcorn. Like you can just snack on it out of the can. And I've been thinking of trying to make some kind of yummy like chili powder or like chipotle corn yummy trail mix with the corn. Just thinking about it because it's so good. Blackberries also 50% off and zucchini 50% off. So if those are things that you use, definitely stock up on them. Typically in the big sales, I just get a case of whatever is 50% off. So that's why I have, I think, like 3 cases of peaches in my basement. So I have a lifetime supply of peaches, but it's all good because I think they were like $8 or something crazy one time. Probably not 8, but pretty close. And then butternut squash is 45% off. So that's a pretty good one. They've also discounted the chef packs, which are basically, it's a pack of 9, I think, 9 cans. And then it has like recipes, like 7 or 8 recipes to use all those cans. It's a way to get started. So they have a Southwest pack, like Southwest chicken, a pulled pork pack, and a ground beef pack. And so you get all the recipes to learn how to cook. So if you haven't really cooked with Thrive, it's a really great intro to how to cook with Thrive. Also the meals, which we featured sometimes, they're just add water meals, but they're probably some of the best ones. And I've tested all of them because I love having those for my first day, 72-hour kits. And so those are on sale. The breakfast pack and the dinner pack are both 25% off. So it ends up being like $10, 10 or $11 a meal. And they serve 2 to 3 people. They serve probably 1 big teenage boy or 2 to 3 normal people. So those are what's on the first page. Second page, we actually have quite a few other 45%. So the potato dices are really good. They're freeze dried. We used to have some dehydrated potatoes, which I really liked for stews, but I like the freeze dried potato dices for things like funeral potatoes or potato salad. We made a really good potato salad. And now whenever I try to buy potato salad, my husband's like, can you just make your Thrive potato salad? He thought it was so good. The cranberries are 45% off, which if you haven't ever tried our cranberry Christmas cookie recipe, it's very, very tasty. Or the cranberry salsa, which we always feature at Christmas time. Cucumbers, 45% off. Then it goes down to the 40s. So you got broccoli, mushrooms, beans, raspberries, celery. So like a lot of times the good sale items are things that I'm like, I don't really eat that. Like mushrooms, I'm never going to eat mushrooms, so I'm not going to buy them even if they're 50% off. I have like 1 can so I can use them for recipes for you guys, but my husband eats mushrooms, but I will never eat them. Anyways, and then the 35%, you got chicken dices. So grilled chicken dices, they're very good. They're smaller pieces, but they hydrate easy. And they have like that yummy kind of cooked flavor instead of tasting like cardboard, like some chicken tends to, if you don't flavor it with other stuff. Got some brown rice, diced beef, cheddar cheese, which I had teased before, white rice. So both rices are on sale. So you can go buy minute rice from the store and it's probably cheaper than our cans, but we have the shelf life. So if you're doing fruit storage, then definitely grab some cans. They only have of the white rice pantry cans, the brown rice, they're doing family cans. So that's interesting. I feel like we haven't had that before for a while. And then there's one of the sauces, the velouté sauce is a chicken gravy. So I think someone up there said something about making gravy. If you use powdered milk, you could also use the sauces to do all kinds of stuff. So let's talk about how to take advantage of the sales. So it starts on August 20th. If you are a consultant, you can shop on August 19th. Historically speaking, with the Thrive sales, depending on what's going on in the world, stuff will tend to sell out the first day of the sale. So if you want to make sure to grab the things that you want, you can be a consultant, you can shop the first day. Being a consultant doesn't mean you have to be a salesman. You can shop for yourself. So there is a new compensation plan for Thrive. And in your first 3 months of being a consultant, you get 20% back on any of your own purchases. So if you shop the sale and you spend $500, you're going to get $100 in free Thrive credit just for shopping yourself. And they always do this back to school sale in August. And then guess what comes up in November, September, October, November. So the first month is August, that's your month 0. Then you get 3 more months of the 20%. So you can actually shop the Black Friday sale too and still get that 20% cash back. So it is $100 to buy the kit, but that does come with coupons, some materials, an apron. So if you're going to spend $500 on food storage in the next few months between the 2 sales, you'll break even. If you're going to spend more than that, if you need a big order, do it and get some free food. And if you do share with anybody else, you can earn same thing, 20% on any. So you'd get commission and free food on anything that you refer. If you tell your friends about it, or if your sisters want to buy some food storage, it's a really, really, really great time to do it because of this new plan. And so it's like a fast start. Like it's a fast start bonus so that you just get to stock up on your own food. And then going forward, you always get 10%. So once you bought that kit, then going forward, you always get 10% on your own food. So it is awesome to be a consultant, even if you never plan to share or do cooking demos or, do booths or anything like that. It's just a good option. But if you do think it's fun to do stuff like this, or you want to cook, or you want to go and do parties at people's houses, definitely something that you can do. So that's the trick for shopping on the 19th. If you're just going to stay a customer and shop on the 20th, you're going to want to sign up for the delivery service. So the sale prices will be the same, whether you do a one-time order or the delivery service. But if you do the delivery service, it is free shipping as long as your order is over $100. So you sign up for the delivery service. It is an auto ship, but you can cancel it after the sale if you don't want to keep buying. But what I do is I just buy what's on sale each month. And so I just stay on it. I spend my $100. It's in my budget to build my food storage every month for $100. And if you follow us, then you watch our shows. We teach you how to cook with everything that's on sale that month. Look, she's eating what's on sale that month. So don't you want to do that? Like, come and cook with us, eat your food, get it monthly. It's awesome. You get free shipping. So that's the 2 ways to shop. You can set your delivery for your first delivery to start August 20th. So you can get it all set up and even fill your shopping cart. And then as soon as the sale goes live, like it'll automatically process your delivery that morning. So that'll give you a little leg up in case stuff goes out of stock as well. But if you forget and then you come Monday, or I think it's Tuesday night, and you're like, oh yeah, I really wanted to get that corn. And then you go on there, it might be out of stock. And then you're going to be sad and cry a sad face. So definitely set up your delivery to start that day. If the computer is stressing you out, like, call us, we will help you get it set up, or text us. Whoever invited you to the demo, me or Krista or any of our team, would be happy to help you place your order. We are going into like crazy time with the world, especially in the States. We do have some people here from Canada too, but it's probably crazy for you too with election year, with all the wars going on in the world. It's hard because people feel the need to prepare, but also money is tight. Like the economy is pretty terrible. Everything is expensive. Food storage is getting expensive. And so that's why I really recommend trying, especially like to do that consultant thing, because then you're always going to be able to get that discount or get, your credit towards future orders. Or if you share a little bit, you can earn cash to buy your food. That's pretty much why I started because, and I think why Krista started too. We wanted to build our own food storage. And so now we just love to share and we're very passionate about that. And it's turned into like a part-time income for both of us. So if that's something you're interested in, let us know. We will send out the replay with all the recipes. We will send out sale information, but definitely hit us up if you want to take advantage and do the consultant thing so you can shop early. Or if you just want to set up your delivery, we can help you get that set up too. Did I miss anything, Krista?
I don't think so. I was just going to add, that's exactly why I joined Thrive. I just wanted to build my food storage, but here's the deal. I wanted to build food storage that I would eat.
Amen.
That's why I became a Thrive consultant, because I didn't want to do it and pay for it all either. You should see, I've got 6 shelving units full of food storage and stocked from the top up. I have a lot of food in my house, but all of it's been free or half off. It used to be free and half off. It's free now. We get that credit, right? Which is awesome. So we can actually do it for free now, which is awesome. So there's no better way to do that if that's one of your goals. So, and then I just kind of turned it into a passion for me. And now I love making a fool of myself in front of live audience.
It's like
Thank you.
eating your food. They know, like in an emergency, there's
Yep.
going to be good food. And it's very true. When I started my food storage journey, I had my kids like taste test different stuff I was making. And they would be like, bleh, bleh, it's so gross. And I'm like, well, if it was an emergency, you would eat it. And I really think my little like 3 and 5-year-olds would have starved versus eating these like disgusting meal bars that I was trying to make them eat. It was like a 3,000 calorie bar. Have you ever tasted them? They taste like literally like carbs. They're disgusting. Except for my 18-month-old. He was like, this is so delicious. And they're like, you can have mine. So yes, ever since I discovered that you can make regular food, it definitely has changed my world. So this is food I cook with every day, and it's food that I store and that I would want to cook with in an emergency. And so we love sharing it with all of you, and thank you for being on live. We're going to stop recording. If people want to stay on and ask any questions about the sale or the consultant thing, we can stay on for a couple seconds, but I'm going to stop official recording. So bye.